Welcome to ECA, I'm Brad.
And I'm Savannah.
And this week we've got all of your news covered, as well as a very special guest from the Desert Rose project.
We also have something old, bringing in classic snacks, and then something new with Pop a Question.
But first, here's news of the week.
Thanks guys. Coles has announced it will be handing out thicker reusable plastic bags for free. The supermarket chain in a statement said the decision will provide customers with more time to become accustomed to the transition. Environment groups, dismayed and angered by the announcement, have warned that reusable bags are worse for the environment if they enter terrestrial or aquatic habitats. Woolworths, however, has possibly seen a publicity opportunity and is sticking to their ban on single-use plastic bags. Congo has declared another outbreak of Ebola, confirming 4 people in the eastern province of the country have tested positive for the virus. The revelation follows the death of a further 20 people about 100 kilometres from the Ugandan border, although the 2 incidents appear to be unrelated. This is the country's 10th outbreak of the disease since 1976, double the number of any other country. 12 experts from the Health Ministry of Congo will be setting up a mobile lab in the area this week. And a cold front, which ripped through Western Australia overnight, has delivered large quantities of hail and damaging winds across the state. The SES received 80 calls for help, more than half coming from the metropolitan area of Perth. Winds in excess of 100 kilometres an hour have torn down trees and power lines, leaving thousands of homes in the dark. Locals, however, enjoyed as much as 5 centimetres of snow at high altitudes in the southeast of the state. It seems every storm cloud has a silver lining. And on that note, back to you guys.
This week I had the pleasure of talking to the guys from Vietnam TV. We got to do an interview and find out what they're doing with the documentary with the university. University of Wollongong has had the pleasure of being visited by VTV, who are filming a documentary about the university. We got to catch up today with some of the people involved.
I'm the producer for a Vietnamese television program called Path to Knowledge, and basically we're trying to provide Vietnamese students with opportunities to study abroad. And in this program, we're trying to feature the University of Wollongong and the sort of opportunities offered for students here. What will they gain when they come to UOW? And also, what a wonderful place it is to study here. And also, it's a very nice community to live in.
I'm just here helping them with, pointing the direction in Wollongong University and also introducing them to the most defined characteristic of Wollongong. The ducks, the very bright spaces, and a lot of diversity. Being the student of the majoring in media and communication also has introduced me to a lot of connections. And I just happen to have a lot of friends who are also interested in this part of the program, so they invited me over to be a part of this amazing opportunity.
VTV will be here for the remainder of the week filming their documentary. We hope to see them again in the future. Savannah Meacham, UOW TV Multimedia. It was really awesome to have the opportunity to chat with the Vietnam TV guys and see the opportunities ahead for people from UOW and also in Vietnam.
Yeah, absolutely. And they were following us around with their cameras too, so there's a chance we might pop up on Vietnam TV.
That was pretty cool, hey?
Yeah.
So next up we have a chat with Luca, the Design and Construction Manager of the Desert Rose project. And so today we're joined by Luca from the Desert Rose project. Could you just tell us a little bit about what the project is?
So the Desert Rose house is a sustainable house. It's a net zero energy home that our students at the University of Wollongong with the students from the TAFE New South Wales have built as part of a bigger project called the Solar Decathlon. So Decathlon is an international competition that challenges university teams to design, build and operate a solar net zero energy house. And we're part of this competition where we're going to be competing in Dubai in November at the end of the year.
Okay, and how long has your team been working on this project?
The project has officially started about 2 years ago. I got involved about 2 years ago as a student, as a volunteer, with the first few meetings where we sort of started deciding what we want to design the house for and what we want to do exactly with the house. And now we are at crunch time where we basically got to ship the house in a couple of weeks' time.
Okay. Yeah. So the university has already won the solar decathlon once with another house. How does this new house stand up against that one?
Yeah, so the previous house was the Illawarra Flame House, and that was part of the solar decathlon in China in 2013. And as you mentioned, the house won the competition, and they actually held the world record as well. So we walk into this competition as the world record holders, which is no pressure on us. But in terms of differences, this house, the previous house was a retrofit. So it was designed based on an existing house. What we've done different this time is we've actually built the house from scratch. So we started from nothing, and we've fully designed the house. And so it's quite different compared to the previous one.
And you recently had an open day for the house. How has the feedback been about the work you've done so far?
It's been fantastic. We've had the chance to tour about 1,500 people, I'd say, throughout a week and a half or so. We've had a big public display where about 1,000 people from the public could tour the house, and the feedback was incredible. The house is not yet finished, but I guess it was a really good opportunity for the public to actually see the house and how it's put together and understand exactly what goes behind the walls and whatnot. So it was very, very good feedback from both the public and the UW community.
Awesome. And so what are the next stages from here? Like, where do you go with the house from now?
So the house, we've got about 2 weeks left over in terms of construction. In about 2 weeks, we start disassembling the house, and we're going to be putting the house in 7 or 8 shipping containers. Once it's in the shipping containers, we're going to be shipping the house over to Dubai. There's about 40 or 50 days of transport. And then we're going to be competing in end of October. So we're going to be starting the construction of the house end of October in Dubai against all the other teams. We've got about 15 days where we can build and fully operate the house. And then we're going to be judging, or rather the judges are going to come through and judge the house. We're going to be touring the public as well in Dubai. And then at the end of this 15-day period as well, we've got 5 days to disassemble the house, after which we're going to be bringing the house back to Australia. Okay,
and I couldn't help but notice the lovely shade of pink that you're wearing for your high vis. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I guess the initial thought behind this was that we wanted to look different. There's going to be 20 other teams competing in the same spot in Dubai, and everyone else is going to be wearing the standard yellow high vis. What we wanted to do with this is, I guess, stand up and sort of be different compared to all the others. It's a good way for us to actually stand out. It's going to be a very easy way for us to actually understand who's on site and who's not on site from our team, and pick people from the construction site.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming in and having a chat, and good luck with the rest of the project.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Now, if you didn't know anything about slam poetry, River's been out on the scene to check it out.
You've all signed this time to listen to my friend of mine, so listen, pay attention. It's important what I'm about to mention. Hold on to your fears. Stay where you are, stuck in a web that you built of unwilling guilt, and watch me achieve my hopes and dreams by sowing the seams of my outrageous extremes.
I co-founded Enough Said Poetry Slam back in 2012 with Sherry Lando and Laura E. Gooden, and we made it into a slam, which is basically a poetry competition or mock competition. It's a fun way to get the audience involved in a poetry night.
And how's it grown over the 6 years?
We started off with probably like 5 people in the audience, and most of them were poets or friends of the poet. We started out at Yours and Ours, which is now Rad Bar, so a smaller space. We're now at Chamber. We get like 60, 70, 80 people per month, every month.
I was a shy kid from a strict home, so I'd never known how to speak my mind or where to find it. I was handed the legacy of a pedigree dependency, the tendency to be seen but not heard.
It's really liberating. Like, I used to be so shy that I would stutter when I spoke to people.
Right.
And I thought I could do the most scariest thing I could think of, which was perform to a bunch of people. And I think you never stop being nervous, but every time you do it, you get a little bit better. I think there's an incredible power in vulnerability. I think it's the only way that you can really connect with other people. And that's the thing about performance poetry, is that it's so intrinsically tied to your identity that you can't be fake. You have to say your truth.
And if you're open and vulnerable enough to do that, then you make a lot of friends, which is, I think, the best part about doing this.
Isn't it great to see slam poetry taking its roots here in Wollongong and the community getting really involved in it?
Absolutely. And on the topic of slamming, the Labor Party this week announced an anti-dumping policy that would protect local jobs.
The measures that we've announced today are about building the capacity of our steel industry companies, and there's very significant production capacities here in the Illawarra, not just at BlueScope but also the supply chain. The steel fabrication companies are important as well.
And the announcement we're making today is about trying to make sure that we've got more of those businesses in the local community, supported by good laws that stop companies from overseas from dumping their cheap steel and cheap aluminium here in Australia. That's not free and fair trade, that's cheating. It's breaking the law if you dump steel at below cost price just because you can't find another market for it.
To say, look, it's been great visiting this innovative facility today, and it's been a real eye-opener. I'm from the Gilmore electorate, the Labor candidate for Gilmore on the New South Wales South Coast. One of our big issues is youth unemployment and unemployment in general. And I look at this facility here, the technology that's there. There's huge opportunities there in our region for our young people, and I think it's really important to have policies like this that will really help local manufacturers and bridge that gap for young people getting jobs into the future.
So the issue about research funding is really important to the future, not just of the university but of the region. And if we're talking about future jobs, then we've got to look to the university as being a critical part of the capacity of the Illawarra to be able to adapt to the challenges of the future. And so we are making the issue of research funding quite an important one in the forthcoming election, and the question of the future EAF will be an important issue in that regard as well. It's critical that people understand just how important university research is to the future prosperity of the region.
I just wish there was anti-dumping laws that could have stopped my ex-girlfriend.
Well, we can't all have what we want.
Absolutely. Well, if politics aren't your thing, maybe binge watching TV is. So this week we got out and found out what it is that you guys are watching.
Hi, it's Maddie for UOW TV Multimedia, and today we're out on campus popping the question.
Hello!
What was the question? We're asking people what the last TV show they binge watched was. Let's find out.
Throw it away.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
It's not exactly a TV show, but I've been catching up on the New Japan G1 tournament.
I think it was on Netflix. It was Narcos.
The last TV show that I binged watched was Orange is the New Black season 6, and I watched it all in one day. How long did it take you to finish a season?
The whole season?
Yeah.
It's like 45 minutes for an episode, so probably it has like 10, so 450 minutes.
I don't usually watch TV shows. I'm usually more out and about playing sports.
Can I ask you a question really quickly? No. Alrighty. Same. I'm going to the gym after this.
What's your favourite TV show to binge watch on Netflix?
I have been watching a lot of American Gods. I think that's a really good show, so I'd definitely recommend checking that one out.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And now for some vox pops of a different variety. Tori's been out talking with the animals. I don't know, let's check it out.
Hello, this is Tori Ellis, and I'm a super serious reporter for UOW TV. I like to cover the big journalism issues, the ones that politics, international relations, and things that really make or break our everyday life. Today, I'll be talking to some really intellectual talent who are experts in their field. Let's see what they have to say, answering the tough questions. I think it's fair to say that they don't give a duck about Trump.
Well, you know, they say never work with children and animals, but apparently Tori didn't get that memo.
Well, now onto something a little bit different, onto 60-second snacks, where we see the famous toasted cheese sandwich.
Hi, this is 60-second snacks, and today we're making the ultimate cheese toastie.
You will need tasty cheese, Havarti cheese, bocconcini, parmesan, butter and bread of your choice.
Firstly, you need to turn on your toastie maker.
Okay, then you're going to take your butter, oh, that was a lot of butter, and spread it on the outside of your sandwich. Oh, that's so much butter. Then you're going to take your parmesan and just stick it right on top of the butter. It's kind of like a glue, but it all comes together in the end. I'm going to start with the tasty. You take your Havarti, and then some bocconcini. And then we got to let it toast. Hear that tappity tap? That means it's ready. Okay, now the moment of truth. Look at that. And oily hands, good sign. Look at that oozy goodness.
Ooh, very nice. Cheesy.
Thanks for watching, we'll see you next week.
Ah yes, toasted cheese sandwiches, the food of the single person. And if you are a single person, maybe you should be listening to the advice of Riley Jones.
Got questions about finding love in the digital age? There's only one person to ask. Dear Riley.
Clark asks, I want to try role-playing. How do I tell my partner?
Direct and honest answers, I think, is the best way to kind of do this. You know, take it very straightforward and be like, this is what I'm looking to do. And don't ultimate them. Just kind of, be like, I would be interested in this. Is this something you want to do? And if they say no, you kind of got to respect their decision, that it may not be something you can do. Although that said, if it is something that is important to you, I guess I'm not condoning to break up, but solve if that's the kind of thing are you willing to give up this to be in the relationship.
Well, I'll have to take that advice into consideration, Riley.
Definitely consideration.
I think that's just about all we have time for this week. This has been a great first show, and to leave you, we have a very special guest in the studio, a musician, half of Lilly Rose.
Thanks guys for watching, we'll see you next week.
Have a good one.
Welcome to a world where you always want what you can't have, it'll drive you mad. At what point did love become something packaged up with an expiry date? In what year did fear become a mass producer of mind control? On what day was it okay for folks to hurt each other with more than sticks and stones? And who said that time's our enemy? They're the only person who got it right. We're conditioned not to lean on each other's shoulders. If we fall, they're gonna leave us concussed. Forgetting that we've done it, we do it again. Different time, different place, same ending still. So welcome to a world where you always want what you can't have, it'll drive you mad. It's a world where people spread their legs in search of something better. Have you noticed yet that people let their heads get caught in a net of lies and false alliances? For what? When did a child's simplicity blur and change grotesquely? On what terms should it concern somebody? What skeletons are kept in our private space? They'll never know what's going on. So welcome to a world where you always want what you can't have, it'll drive you mad. It's a world where people spread their legs in search of something better. Your only chance of surviving is confiding in a lucid state. It's a world where people'd rather die instead of trying to defend each other. And then we find someone to kiss the wounded part. parts of our bodies just to find they're gonna call it another mistake. You writhe in pain and cry their name, cause even dreams are tainted by them. But you can die, you can cry, you can live, you can give up, or just keep tripping over yourself with a glass pipe or a bottle of vodka to cuddle at night. But there's no melody or remedy to hide. It's a toxic world. So welcome to the world. Oh, welcome to the world. Welcome to the world. That's it.